Back to the gluten-free, casein-free challenge. We are looking at the common mistakes that people make when they are on this journey and when they start the gluten-free, casein-free challenge that stops them from seeing the results that they would want to see. And I strongly believe some of these mistakes are the contributing factors to most of the studies concluding that it's not necessary for some children. But equally, we do understand that we have enough studies that evidence that children with autism do not have the enzymes to break down the gluten and the casein. We also know that there's quite a lot of studies that evidence that children with autism really do have a lot of gut issues that need to be supported. So the gluten-free, casein-free diet is going to be very important for the majority of children, but not all children. So let's pay attention to that part. But I would really love those numbers to increase because we have evidence of the mistakes that people make. And so the next mistake that I want to talk about is oxalate loading as well as salicylate loading. I have parents that all of a sudden they want to juice and smoothie and smoothie and smoothie and smoothie. What they are not aware of is if you overload your child with a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, you are increasing the intake of salicylates as well as the intake of oxalates. I can give you an example of you have a cup of spinach with a cup of apples that are not gala apples, or a lot of apples, you have a cup of blueberries. All these things, they look beautiful and they really sound beautiful, and yay, they are healing. They are really rich in antioxidants, but unfortunately they're also extremely high in phenols as well as oxalates. And if you look at the studies around children with autism, the majority of them, they cannot deal with those oxalates and they cannot deal with those salicylates. And I want to show you one of the labs. I was actually looking at it in the other clip, but I want to show you this because so that you can see that in evidence. So if you look at this beautiful kid, he was on a very strict diet when he came to me. When you look at this, you can actually see that mommy was overloading with oxalates. If you look at the food therapy tracker, there was quite a lot of broccoli, a lot of spinach, a lot of kale, a lot of smoothies, a lot of all these high oxalate containing vegetables. If you've heard me talk about oxalates, you know they are very painful. And if you have a lot of oxalates, you're going to have a lot of headaches. So here we are, we've taken our children off gluten and off casein. Then we are increasing. She was overloading oxalates. She was also overloading salicylates. Okay, so we do not want that. And to avoid doing that, moderation is key. Okay, moderation is key. We talk about this in the deep dive. If that's something that you are going to have to think about after you have managed to get yourself balanced in regards to the gluten-free, casein-free diet. You're doing just this part with the gluten-free, casein-free challenge. You've done a big part of the deep dive program, which actually means that you're just going to go in there and swing through. But you can see this is one of the biggest mistakes, loading oxalates as well as salicylates. And because the majority of the things that look beautiful and they're considered healthy, there'll be oxalates. They'll be loaded with oxalates. They'll also be loaded with salicylates. So moderation is key. If you drink too much water, if you drink 20 liters of water, you'll be in hospital. Okay, so moderation is key. Limit the amount of vegetables that you're giving your child. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo the smoothies. Don't overdo all those things, okay? Don't overdo the salicylates, especially salicylates. You'll find they'll drive hyperactivity, and oxalates will drive a lot of headaches, migraines. Okay, they're painful. So what do you want to do today? What do you want to do today? I want you to look at your therapy tracker. I really want you to physically look at your therapy tracker and see if you're balancing things out. How much is too much? Okay. In your community section, I've given you a list of foods that are high in oxalates that I would really want you to shy away from. And shy away from those. Okay, really shy away from those for a little while. So just look at the pin post and look at that list, and then take your therapy tracker and see if those things are on your list and try and remove that. Okay, I hope this helps. If you've got any questions, please don't forget to ask and to comment and let me know where you are on this journey and whether or not you are seeing the results we want to see. But for now, from my heart to yours. Bye-bye.